The Young and the Restless spoilers. Kyle uses Victoria to hit Victor. Jack and Diane look forward. In Genoa City, every family celebration comes with hidden agendas, every smile masks a strategy, and every promise is tested by old rivalries. As the Abbott and Newman families prepare for another emotional chapter, Kyle Abbott finds himself at the center of a dangerous game, one that could shake both dynasties. Determined to strike back at Victor Newman, Kyle discovers that Victoria Newman may be the perfect person to help him make his move. Meanwhile, Jack and Diane Abbott choose to focus on hope rather than conflict as they eagerly anticipate a brighter future together. The stage is set for explosive confrontations, unexpected alliances, and emotional revelations. Kyle refuses to back down. Kyle Abbott has spent months trying to prove that he's capable of standing on his own. Every victory seems to come with Victor Newman waiting around the corner, ready to interfere or remind Kyle that the Newman patriarch always has the upper hand. Instead of accepting defeat, Kyle decides it's time to change tactics. He realizes that challenging Victor directly rarely ends well. Victor has decades of experience, endless resources, and an instinct for staying 10 steps ahead. Kyle understands he needs leverage, and that leverage could come from someone Victor never expects. That someone is Victoria. Kyle knows Victoria has always loved her father, but she's also experienced firsthand what it feels like to live under Victor's overwhelming control. Their complicated history gives Kyle an opportunity to plant seeds of doubt that could eventually grow into something much larger. Victoria finds herself in the middle. Victoria never enjoys being caught between family members. She understands Victor's methods better than anyone, yet she also knows Kyle has legitimate reasons for feeling frustrated. As Kyle approaches her with a business proposal wrapped inside a personal conversation, Victoria begins wondering whether she's witnessing another Abbott-Newman battle, or the beginning of something different. Kyle doesn't ask her to betray Victor outright. Instead, he presents facts. He points out every instance where Victor manipulated situations to serve his own interests. He reminds Victoria that even those closest to Victor sometimes become pawns in his larger plans. Victoria listens carefully. Although she doesn't immediately agree with Kyle's perspective, his words linger longer than she'd like to admit. Victor sees trouble brewing. Victor Newman has built an empire because he recognizes danger before anyone else. It doesn't take long before whispers reach him that Kyle and Victoria have been spending more time together discussing business matters. Victor instantly becomes suspicious. He knows Kyle is ambitious enough to attempt something bold, and he also understands that Victoria has occasionally questioned his decisions in the past. Rather than confronting them immediately, Victor begins watching from the shadows. For Victor, information is always the greatest weapon. He's determined to learn exactly what Kyle is planning before making his next move. Jack watches his son carefully. Jack Abbott has always believed Kyle possesses enormous potential. However, he also knows his son sometimes allows emotion to cloud his judgment. When Jack notices Kyle becoming increasingly secretive, he worries that history may be repeating itself. The Abbott family has paid dearly whenever personal revenge became more important than long-term success. Jack encourages Kyle to stay focused on building something meaningful instead of simply defeating Victor. But Kyle insists those two goals can coexist. If Victor continues interfering with Abbott interests, Kyle argues, protecting the family's future requires taking action now. Jack isn't entirely convinced. Diane supports Kyle, with reservations. Diane Jenkins Abbott has fought hard to rebuild her relationship with both Jack and Kyle. She sees confidence growing inside her son and admires his determination. Still, Diane understands Victor better than most. She warns Kyle that every move against Victor carries consequences. Victor rarely forgets an insult, and he never allows anyone to challenge him without retaliation. Diane encourages Kyle to think several steps ahead. Winning one battle means little if it starts a war the family cannot control. Kyle appreciates his mother's advice, but his mind appears already made up. Jack and Diane look toward the future. While Kyle focuses on confrontation, Jack and Diane decide to concentrate on happier possibilities. After overcoming countless obstacles in their relationship, they finally feel as though peace might be within reach. They discuss expanding Abbott family traditions, strengthening their marriage, and supporting Kyle as he builds his own future. Jack believes the family deserves a period of stability. Diane agrees. For the first time in quite a while, they allow themselves to imagine life without constant crisis. Unfortunately, Genoa City rarely grants anyone peace for very long. A family celebration takes shape. Plans begin forming for a special Abbott gathering. The event is meant to celebrate family unity and new beginnings. Jack hopes the occasion will remind everyone what truly matters. Diane throws herself into organizing every detail, determined to create warm memories that overshadow past conflicts. Kyle promises he'll attend, but his attention remains divided. His secret conversations with Victoria continue behind the scenes. Neither Jack nor Diane realizes that the celebration could become the backdrop for a dramatic turning point. Victoria faces an impossible decision. As Kyle reveals more of his strategy, Victoria feels increasing pressure. She doesn't necessarily want to oppose Victor. However, she also recognizes that her father often pushes loved ones too far before realizing the damage he's caused. Kyle asks Victoria to support an important business initiative that would weaken Victor's influence without directly attacking Newman Enterprises. The proposal sounds reasonable. Yet Victoria knows Victor will view any cooperation with Kyle as an act of disloyalty. Her decision could permanently change her relationship with both families. Victor prepares his counterattack. Victor refuses to wait for events to unfold naturally. He quietly instructs trusted allies to investigate Kyle's recent activities. Financial records, private meetings, business negotiations. Nothing escapes Victor's attention. As pieces begin falling into place, Victor realizes Kyle's ambitions extend beyond simple revenge. Kyle wants influence, power, respect. Victor smiles. Those goals make Kyle predictable. The Newman patriarch already starts designing a response capable of ending Kyle's plans before they truly begin. Jack tries to keep everyone together. Jack senses growing tension, despite everyone's attempts to hide it. He encourages honest conversations before misunderstandings spiral into full-scale conflict. Deep down, Jack still believes reconciliation between the Abbott and Newman families remains possible. Perhaps not friendship, but coexistence. Unfortunately, decades of rivalry aren't easily forgotten. Every attempt at peace seems to uncover another reason for war. Diane sees warning signs. Diane notices subtle changes in Kyle's behavior. He's distracted during family dinners. He's constantly checking messages. His confidence has transformed into quiet intensity. She shares her concerns with Jack. Together, they wonder whether Kyle is carrying more responsibility than he admits. Although they trust their son, they fear he's underestimating Victor's ability to retaliate. Parents can offer advice. Ultimately, though, Kyle must make his own choices. What's next? The coming days promise emotional fireworks as Kyle attempts to outmaneuver Victor using an unexpected connection with Victoria. Whether his strategy succeeds or backfires remains uncertain, but one thing is clear. Victor Newman will never surrender without a fight. At the same time, Jack and Diane's optimism offers a refreshing contrast to the brewing storm. Their commitment to family and their shared hope for a peaceful future may become the emotional foundation the Abbotts desperately need.